Gamer Dan, how are you, my man?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Doing well, doing well.
I have to thank you so much. I know you're sick of me giving all these thanks, but those playthroughs you've done, yeah, they're really cool, better quality than I've been doing with my uh, piss poor resolutions at
Honestly,
times.
I played a whole mess more games for the next fest because I always love them.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
One of my favorite little holidays. I take a bit of time and I really blast through a whole bunch of games that strike my fancy. See what's working, what isn't. Is any games upcoming? I don't tend to subscribe to the early access games. I don't play games when they're in the developmental stage, but I'll
Mm,
play a demo. Give me a little slice of the game so I get a feel for it, and then I'm happy with that. But playing a game that's in an unfinished state it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth because the game's ruined. You know
right.
what it could be is marred by the first impression of what it is currently.
That's a good
But I
point.
understand it's quite useful for game developers to help get it refined. I know Darkest Dungeon is an example of a game that went through a whole mess of refinement, and
Yeah.
the whole aspects of that game were edited and changed because of the audience feedback. Uh,
Exactly that's when it works. Do you want to change the moniker to Gamer Dan?
oh, yep, that's my actual name.
No worries, I'm sure we can
It's
figure
not
it
too
out.
far from my
Yeah.
moniker. It's a lazy moniker, to be fair. There's a funny story behind it, but I'll tell you that one day.
Super. Well, today we got ourselves a Nintendo Life, Nintendo Life video about a bit of a playthrough. Well, as you were saying, speaking of demos, play of the Princess Peach game, which oh my God, the name of it is just mixed up in my mind. Game of Dano, tell us what it's called again. Peach Conquest. Oh my God,
Princess Peach Showtime or something? Princess
Showtime. It's
Peach.
Showtime. That's it. Showtime. What the
Prince.
heck is wrong with me? That's it.
Yeah, Showtime. Yeah, the premise is sound. As an old theatre kid, I'm quite excited about it. I'm looking forward to playing this game, but my enjoyment's going to hinge on one gameplay feature, and if it does it right, I'll be happy. If it doesn't, I'll play it, but I will be less happy.
Well, let's
So
check
I'm
it out.
excited. Yeah, to see if they bring it up in the video.
Here we go.
Hello there.
Sorry, mate. I want to hear the click of the game at Nintendo Life. There you go.
Hello there, lovely
Is
people.
it
It's
loud
Alex
enough?
from Nintendo Live here, and yes, the title is not a lie. I've only bloomin' played Princess Peach Showtime on the Nintendo Switch. Yes, Nintendo UK invited me down to their offices, and
What?
I had a go. I played
For
for about
real?
an hour, and I'm just gonna tell you what I think.
Lucky.
It's
What have I been missing
if it's
out?
been done before, it'll be done again in the
Jealousy?
future. But anyway, that's more than enough waffling. Let's dive right into things.
God damn it, this guy's a lucky boss, isn't he?
So, Princess Peach
It's with
Showtime, is
Nintendo
it
Life.
the hardcore
Yeah.
first-person shooter we all expected it to be?
No.
I really want to say yes. No, Princess Peach Showtime is a simple game. That's
Okay.
to be expected. That's
Expected,
what
yeah.
everyone anticipated. If anyone thought it
Yeah.
was going to be otherwise, you need to start thinking. The big difference is
I
Princess
like
Peach
that.
has showed up at the Sparkle Theatre for some reason. I can't fully remember why. And then there's this sort of evil entity called Grape. Fruit! And Grape can take every play that's on show at the Sparkle Theatre and turn it into a
I want to play
tragedy,
it right
which
now.
by definition means all the plays were comedies. And it's up to Princess Peach to save the day. She's got to burst in and have all these transformations. They're not outfits, they're called transformations, and I suppose you do get extra abilities and stuff like that, so that makes some sort of sense. And you've got to save the plays. You've got to stop them being tragedies and make them comedies again. I don't want to specify the game doesn't specify that they're all comedies, it's just that's how theatre works. We wouldn't usually do this, but let me take you through the controls. So you have the A button to jump, which is unusual. It's usually the B button, often the A button as well, but it isn't in this case. It's only the A button. The B button performs actions, and
Nice.
that's about as broad as I can possibly be with that.
Oh.
And you've got the X button, which will remind you of the controls, because they are complicated. Left stick moves you around, and ZLZR is like a context-sensitive thing in certain spotlights. You can press ZLZR and something will happen. That is it. It is dead simple. Like, it is really arguably stripped back. I think it's being a bit mean to say it is completely stripped back, but it's a very simple game. It's very basic, and it's very easy.
Pause.
There's an
Pause.
enemy.
All right. Hit me up, Gamer Dan.
Yeah, well, we knew it was going to be a simple game. It's quite
Mm.
cute. It's like Princess Peach's first game was on the DS with a Vibe Scepter. It was a very, very simplified platformer with four contextual abilities that were related to emotions. She could get angry, creates a fireball, burn things around her, her enemies, cry, which meant she could run faster. She created a water. She could, grow plants.
That's
Very, very
hilarious.
simple.
Mm.
But surprisingly good. I completed it myself. I really enjoyed it. But it's interesting he mentioned that the switch between the A and the B, because
Mm.
A and B on a Nintendo platform are switched from A and B within everyone else's. But usually you have the
Oops, Gamer Dan. Sorry, you're frozen. Sorry, people. Just a second. Let's sort this out. Gamer Dan. Uh-oh. Hold on, people.
diamond.
Sorry,
At
Gamer
least on
Dan.
my end.
Yeah. Okay, you're back. You're back. Oh, people, he's
Okay.
back. No worries.
Yeah. But Zero Punctuation's Yahtzee Croshaw had really good explanation for this, and he contextualized the buttons as a movement, action, thoughtful action, and split-second action. So the
Ah,
bottom button is the one that fits most comfortably in your thumb. That's the button that will do the action that is the focus of the game.
reflexes.
So in a Mario game, it's very reflexive. It's the most comfortable. It's the primary gameplay loop. It's what are
Gotcha.
you doing in the game? This is the button you're doing. In most games, it's jump or it's action. With a Mario game, it's usually jump because what are you doing? You're
He's
jumping.
Jumpman.
He's Jumpman. He is Jumpman. So Mario is a jumping game, so the jump is the B, is the bottom button because it's the one you're using the most, and then you can use A to do other contextual things. But in this one, it's not jump; it's action, meaning that the game has pivoted. The game's core loop is an action rather than a jump, which makes
Interesting.
sense because she's in different contextual situations. So whatever she's doing, she needs to do an action rather than traverse it.
Yeah.
She needs to engage with the environment rather than move around it.
Good point. Good
So
point.
it makes sense. It makes sense, but it's nice that he acknowledged this control gameplay switch because it's highlights, it's indicative of the kind of game that you're getting.
For real, that's a good bit. We can continue.
There, press the B button, you'll take them out. If there's something you need to interact with, press the B button, you'll make it work. It's super, super simple, and I don't want to say that's disappointing, but, I like a little bit more meat to my games, and I know, this game is arguably not designed for someone like me, or indeed probably many of the people watching. In truth, Princess Peach Showtime is all talk and no trousers. But what talk? This
That's a funny phrase.
around its presentation. And its presentation, even though I'm afraid that all the stuff that you've seen is off screen rather than actual capture, but them's the rules, it is gorgeous. The resolution isn't ultra high at a guess, and this really is only a guess.
Beautiful.
I'd say 900p, frame rate stuck at 30 and can dip below during certain animation sequences and stuff like that. But the actual sort of technical side, the lighting...
Uh-oh. Sorry, Gamer Dan, you're frozen again. Oh, you're back.
No,
you're back.
no,
For a moment, your eyes were closed for a long time. I was like, huh? But yeah, do you want to give a comment before I press continue?
For some reason,
kind of
it seems to be lag.
Yeah, we got a bit of a lag issue. I think it should fix in a moment. I think what I'll start doing from now on is start using the Ethernet cable.
Oh, are you on the Wi-Fi? You're using the Wi-Fi? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, all right, we're good now. Hopefully, fingers crossed that won't happen again. But that means that did you want to leave a comment before I continue with the video?
No. I'm going to pick up this game, but I am giving serious pause as to whether picking it up immediately on launch. I got a few other things that I would like to play. I've been making videos on the Marvel game, Marvel Midnight Suns. So I might just put this on the back burner, or maybe wait for a sale for it to come before it comes out. It looks great and it looks fun. It might be something I pick up and complete in over a weekend, like a palate cleanser between two big titles. But considering the simplicity behind it, I was hoping for some, as he says, some more meat on the bones.
Mm. Who knows? I mean, you got to think about the audience. I mean, who is most likely to buy this? Of course, we have us gamers, despite our ethnographic, despite our
Gamers on a monolith, mate. Yeah, we haven't been for
yeah.
a while. There's going to be Princess Peach fans who want to see more games with her in. I'm certainly one of them. I want to see
Mm.
her as a playable character in the next Mario game, or at least for certain levels. You know, complete the
Right.
game, and then in the post game, let us play as Princess Peach through the levels. You know, that would be
Yeah,
fun.
that's true. I mean, even after
But
Mario Kart, at least, or
yeah,
yeah,
she's playable since she's been a mainstay. She was in the first Mario Kart. She's been in every Mario Kart. So it's nice to see her just getting more options and more games where she has agency. I like that.
yeah,
But I don't know. It's just a matter of putting her in something that's useful. But she is kind of the cutesy face of Mario. So a cutesy game does make sense. It's
yeah.
aimed younger. Nintendo's a very family-friendly platform. At
That's the
least they
thing. It's the Nintendo family friendly thing that I think is dictating this. I mean, I don't think she'll become a Lara Croft. I mean, maybe. Who knows? That'd be
No,
nice.
no, no, no,
Mhm.
no. If anyone's going to be doing that, it'll be Daisy.
Yes, yes. That should fit.
You know,
Oh, even
I could see.
Rosalina.
Yeah. Rosalina is more of a overseer. I could see there being like a city builder or a civilization, or builder, kind of like Nino Kuni 2 or Little Big King,
Ah,
but with Rosalina, kind of
mm,
organizing the Lumas to build a civilization. That makes sense. Daisy appeared in the canon through Super Mario, the Game Boy game in Sarasa Land, which was kind of analogous to Egypt. So
mm,
she's already got kind of ancient civilizations under her belt. She's
mm,
more of the gruff and rough and tumble version of Peach. I could see her donning on some, going along with Captain Toad on a bit of a dungeoneering adventure. That could be fun. But Peach is the icon. Peach is the
yeah.
freaking goat, man. She's a powerful, respected leader, and she's a prize that all the major players want a piece of.
Yeah. Oh dear, sounds very.
Even Gaijin Guma did videos on what Princess Peach's her characterization, or at least her character, was developed using Shinto gods or Japanese gods. She's supposed to be this immensely powerful figure who's kind
Right.
of above all the minor dealings. Now we know it's canonical that Bowser's got a thing for her. He wants to date her, but before this was made canon, there was, argument of whether Bowser wanted her as a resource, whether she wanted to use her power for himself, as opposed to her as a person.
Yeah,
And
well, that sounds more.
I always subscribed to that. In
Yeah.
my head, that was why he wanted her. That she was so powerful, but she was kind of like a celestial figure, kind
Mm.
of like her daughter Rosalina.
I think your answer is one, but and which is why, of course, when Jack Black did the movie, I'm so happy, man. That can you believe it? Since we started this channel, we've been able to. We were there for the journey of the Mario Brothers movie coming out. I think Professor Cisco's been to Nintendo Land. I mean, this is a great moment in history for us to actually document and share with everybody. Uh, because I was thinking when it came to the movie, of course, Bowser, the whole notion of Bowser wanting to marry Peach uh, is a very clever running joke for lay people who don't know Mario. Says, what he wants to marry this what? But as you say,
Well,
there's more to it than just romance. For goodness sake.
when Super Mario World came out, then in the UK, or at least the American and UK comic books, in the UK Nintendo magazines, there was a long running comic
Mm,
about the stories of Bowser and Nintendo, and I think after Super Mario 3 or Super
mm.
Mario World, where they introduced the children.
The TV show, Super
No,
Mario
not the TV show.
World.
Before
Oh,
the TV show, there was a comic book, and in the comic book, it did
I remember
establish
that.
that Bowser wanted Peach to be his bride, partially because he liked her, but also because he wanted a mother for his children. So he wanted her as a person to be part of his family. And then later on, he's made allusions to having feelings for her, but I just never took it as canon. I always thought like he's the big bad guy. Nintendo presents him as the big bad. I figured that he
Mm,
wanted her for utilitarian purposes
That's a
You
good.
know, he was all business. You know.
That's a good thing to remind people about. This. It's yes, he's thought this through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's not he's not an incapable leader. He's an effective fighter. He's a genuine physical threat,
yeah.
and you got to think that this guy conquers and builds infrastructure just like crazy. You know, his management is great. He's organized his army into factions. You know, dude can fight a war. You know.
Yeah.
It just
Don't you
happens
make
to be up against a nigh super powerful princess who empowers a single Italian bloke to go running around smashing bricks. You know
But yeah, that's what
what can your builders do against a guy who smashes masonry?
this is you're killing me. Um, not to mention, I'm sure Mario 2, as you put it, wants a piece of that peach. That's right. It just sounds very saucy, if you don't mind. Anyway, no
Oh
puns.
come on! What gamer didn't grow up with a little bit of a crush on Peach? She was the icon. She's the goat.
Yes.
She's the greatest of all time. And I know she's got the whole blonde, blue eyes, blonde hair, regal demeanor. But dude, come on, get some cake. Want a piece of that peach? Oh, it's right there in the name.
We gotta put it. It's gonna be one of the best videos ever. Exactly. I think she wasn't always blonde, though, was she? I think she changed, or at some point was it? No, Link changed. They made Link blonde recently. Over the years, he was
Yeah,
brown hair
yeah,
first.
Link's had indeterminate hairstyles, but that's been hand waved away by each Link being a different
Yeah, if you
generation.
think,
It's not
yeah,
the same Link
right. Yeah. Oh well.
for
But
most of them.
I was like,
The way that it's all laid out is just kind of a little bit gorgeous. Every level is a play, and every play has a set and a stage, and there are curtains, and everything is kind of sort of semi-represented in some
I like that.
sense. Kind of a little bit
The
like
animation.
something like Yoshi's Woolly World or Yoshi's Crafted World, where there are sort of like representations of things. Like at one point,
gorgeous.
Peach rides this wave as a ninja, but it's just like a wooden structure. But obviously, it behaves as a oh, it's just really cool.
Cool,
There's
man.
attention to detail as well. There's like
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
good.
with your Ninja Peach. I'm not gonna just talk about Ninja Peach, but she's got a lot of good stuff. When you're Ninja Peach, you can like hide in the grass, and she crouches down, but then she also holds these like two fake like bushes. They're like I think they're just cardboard
That's so
cutouts, or
sweet.
little wooden ones. And it's like she's hiding,
Oh,
and
this is
no one
gorgeous.
can see her. Like obviously they can, but it's a stage performance. It's just a lovely little thing. Like. You know, I
Yeah.
did drama when I was younger, and this is sort of this is bringing up a lot of very pleasant memories for me.
Yeah, man.
And like
Feels
when
like
she's underwater,
Ben and
still
Holly.
ninja form, in order to make sure she can breathe, she's holding a bamboo
Yeah.
sort of stick,
Gamer Dan people.
a bamboo tube, a bamboo tube, and it's sticking up out of the water so she can. Oh, it's just it's
The
little
touches.
things. It's little things. It's
I think we can both relate to this. I mean, you know my experience. I mean, I don't know if I show anybody on YouTube my acting experience, also doing performance. But Gamer Dan is a acting kid, right? You've been acting since you're a kid.
Since as far back as I can remember, yeah, my parents put me on into a drama club. They put me into a youth group after preschool, and I
Wow.
took to the stage, and it really helped my confidence. Built my vocabulary and my enunciation
That's
because
it,
I was
isn't
an
it?
awkward kid, and it helped me kind of grow into my own. And then I did it at high school, at secondary school, and it came out. I got out of my shell. I got into shape, and I've always deferred to drama as kind of a wonderful part of my life. And yeah, the idea of being able to play Peach on a stage with the
Yeah.
tropes of a stage, that is just
Oh, so,
just
yeah.
get into my vein. Get into my veins, man. Shut up and take my money.
That is the
I want
meme
it all.
goals.
I want it. I want it. I really, really want it. I
That is
know
it.
the game's going to be simple. It's going to be simple and cute and sweet. But honestly, it's just pitch perfect as she stands.
Yeah,
You
dude,
know?
you mentioned Nino Kuni earlier, and I was like, it's like the Ghibli movies. It's you know there's a movie that one of my mother's favorites actually. She probably watches crazy amounts of times just on loop, like a wallpaper. The Armadas. I don't know if you heard of that Ghibli. Oh, give me down, you frozen. Give me down. Hello. Ah, Dave, I don't know what we should do about this internet business. Sorry, guys. Let's see if we can fix the internet. Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Hey, Gamer Dan, you're back. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, this is going to be one of the most interesting videos in that it's awesome what Game Dan's saying, but the internet's also got a mind of its own. It's like a an entity in a game that's just trying to F with us. But but Gamer Dan. Yeah, I was saying the movie Meet the Armadas. I don't know if you've heard of that one from Studio Ghibli.
Meet
It's
the
like
Armadas.
you know that one.
The Yamadas. They meet the
Yeah,
Yamadas. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I've heard of it. I know of it. I haven't seen it.
yeah. It's again. My mother's like seen this like probably 50 at least times as wallpaper. It's in the house, and it's like the Miyazaki's Simpsons, and you've got Jim Belushi, I think, doing the father's voice. But the oh, I don't know if my voice is coming through. Hey, Gamer Dan, internet, come on, don't f with us anymore. Hold on, guys. Just waiting for this internet to sort itself out. Hey, Gamer Dan's back. There you are.
We're back.
Bloody hell. But yeah, the whole thing was that the feel of theater that I think everybody, even if if no one's had our experiences with the theater, just the cutesiness of seeing that somebody's acting and you get that kind of pantomime vibe of the audience kind of being involved in watching, as the man says, things that obviously we can see that the villain should be able to see. She's covering her face with leaves and all that stuff. It's just such a nice touch. I think it's saying a lot with doing very little. It's very tacitly um, bringing audiences into the play atmosphere that this is. If you'll, pardon the pun again. Yeah.
No. It makes sense. There are certain tropes, certain willing disbelief when you go to watch a play. You're there to engage with the story in the way that story is told, but there are certain tropes and certain just realities of the situation. If you want to tell the story using the set, you're gonna have to accept some willing disbelief. And dudes wearing all black, holding up things to help move the set. That's just how it has to happen.
Oh, that's
but it's cute, it's funny and it's sweet in its own right. So yeah, it's nice that the game appears to lean whole hog into that. Like, this is a theater, and we are playing through a scenario on the stage, and it's going to be a stage performance. So all the little aspects of playing through each setting, each scenario, each kind of self-contained story. But I mentioned earlier, this is what I was concerned about. I was of the opinion that I wanted a Peach to be like a Mario, where that she was progressively getting stronger. So she got into the first theater, she got a costume, and she played that scenario. Then she went to the next one, and she could use the previous studio's costume to help her win the conflict, resolve the thing in the next one. And so each theater was essentially a power buff. She went in and she unlocked an ability, which was the transformation. Thinking more like Shantae, where she gets magic abilities, she gets transformations, which is like a Metroidvania. She gets the abilities and she's able to go back to earlier theaters, and using later costumes, she can unlock more things.
Of course.
But honestly, it feels like they're not going that route. Each is a self-contained story, where she's a ninja because it's a Japanese ninja story.
Right.
Then she leaves, and it's fresh story, fresh arc. There's no progression per se. But you know what? That's kind of cute. That's far more relevant to the smaller genre. It's small, bite-sized, small, self-contained stories. When you're in the theater, you're doing the theater, and then the story's over.
Yep.
And that makes more sense from the setting than the gameplay, which I can be happy with. I was hoping that it would be more of a Mario game, but it's not. It's a Peach game, and it's going whole hog with that Peach game. I can respect that.
Yeah.
I just thought, I want to unlock the fencing costume and then go to the Wild West and go, it's a good fight, and use a fence them, or be a ninja, running around Paris, taking on fairy tale characters with ninja abilities.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, who knows? We've only got halfway through this video.
Maybe post game.
Yeah.
I also got to see. I didn't get to play it sadly, but I did get to see some of the Peach as an ice skater or figure skater. I can't remember the precise name. Forgive me. And there's just something about the animation, something about the movement that is just so pleasant. Everything about the game is really pleasant. And then there's like the whole thing with Cowgirl Peach. She's like don't Google that. You're like lassoing
okay.
barrels and throwing them at enemies and stuff like that. It's nothing out of this world, but it's all just presented in such a lovely, charming way that
If I had a daughter, I'd give her this game.
I couldn't help but be really entertained. Each
Yeah,
play
man.
also has a load of collectibles. They're just these sort of like star things. I think they're like sparkle power or something. There's a lot of sparkle going on. And they're strewn throughout the level.
There has to be a
various
collector's
locations,
on.
and
Kidder.
I'm really quite pleased to say that at no point did I ever get all of them in a single level. Like, I always missed 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. You know, they're not like super well hidden or anything like that, but there were quite a few times where I just didn't find them all. And that's kind of nice, you know? It's kind of nice to know that even someone like me has something to go back to a level for. I've got a reason to go back to a level, to get 100%. You know, little things.
Yeah,
It's not
that
a
kind
hard
of
game.
gamer
I
likes that.
cannot emphasize that enough. It is like dirt easy, but it's just kind of nice.
It's nice to have a
don't quite
reason.
know how else to describe it. I mean,
Mm.
obviously, I could say punch key.
If you wanted to be in the video so badly, why didn't you say? You're going to muffle me, aren't you?
It's almost kind of enchanting.
Where's Professor
You know,
Silica?
the whole
She'd
sort
laugh
of
at that.
typical idea of like, you know, princesses and, you know, Disney kind of stuff, you know. It's all a little bit twee, all a little bit sickly, and that's definitely leaning into it here, but I don't know, maybe just because it's a video game, it's not quite as sickly and twee to me. I don't know, I just like it. It's not a major release. It's not the next Splatoon. It is a side project by Nintendo. It's not a new Mario game, anything like that. It is just this little sort of small game that I think they're charging full price for, admittedly. Sweet and pleasant and just kind of a
It
nice
is full price.
time.
I think
It's
Nintendo,
a
you know, it's like
nice time.
it feels like, you know, like it's a luxury good that like Hello Kitty products. You can sell crazy slap Hello Kitty on something and sell it for crazy money, and it works. So they're thinking, why not
Yeah.
charge full price? Because they're thinking we need, you know, the money's good. So, and if you sell this to a girl gamer, and again, I know that, as you say, games aren't one of this, but I can just see a bunch of girl gamers going after this game, and if you can captivate that market,
I see a bunch of
properly-
guys. To be fair,
yeah.
it's cute and sweet, and it's not, you know,
But that's
I'm a
the
guy.
genius.
I play the tough games, the hardcore games, but
Mm.
I want to play it.
Yeah, dude, I do. It's that's the thing. That's what's beautiful about Japan. In fact, just like again going back to Hello Kitty, Sanrio, Hello Kitty can go anywhere. Right? Unlike Mickey Mouse, you got Disney. Well, I don't know these days, but they certainly would try to protect Mickey. That you can't put him here and there. Hello Kitty
Yeah.
can appeal to men, can appeal to girls, can appeal to boys and women and so on. But and I'm saying that of course it's gamers. I mean, it's Peach. Peach is not just like a girl power icon. You know, bet you see necessarily. Only. I mean, well, hopefully not at all. But but she's of course naturally gonna appeal to girls. That being said, she's a she's a gaming icon that I play as Peach in Mario Kart. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I'm all into exploring each of the characters. I'm sure people would love it, just like you love a Toad game, you love a Yoshi game, you love a Luigi, you love a Peach game. You have to play it, you know. But that being said, I'm saying Nintendo thinking if we can, it's a bit like capitalizing, like when they made Hello Kitty. Sorry, I got these roses for my wife. She used to be red, then they made her pink. You know, if you put pink with certain things, they sell more, even to everybody, to dudes, to women and whatnot. So I'm just saying that once girls get their hands on this, I'm saying that the kids, Nintendo know when it comes to the family market, kids pestering their parents to buy the games is a winning ticket. So we're thinking we got to make it so that if kids play, they don't feel like this is for adults, but you don't want to feel like Lara Croft, pretty much. You
Yeah.
gotta feel it. Yeah. What do you
It's
think?
got to aim young, and that's one of the things I think that's helped Nintendo stay above certain allegations and certain challenges. They've always, right from the get-go, they've sold themselves as a family-friendly company. They sell the family entertainment system, the family the NES, Nintendo was a friendly thing. It's for the family, and their characters are family friendly. You know, they don't get themselves into dangerous or adult situations. It's always upstanding and polite and whatnot. And yeah, because Mario became so successful and Nintendo made good business decisions largely. They've become a major powerhouse, and it's great that we can play games now. There's a whole mess of Mario games in a whole bunch of genres, but it's not just Mario. Luigi's got a whole series that is just to him, and it's its own gameplay, and it works. And the crap Yoshi
Ooh. Sorry, Game Dan.
worlds and crafted worlds. They're looking at the question of what the hell is actually happening when he makes eggs. Is he swallowing, digesting, and pooping people out, or is he,
Yeah, what is that?
laying an egg?
And
We
how
don't
is
want to know
he
that.
laying
Let's
eggs?
go. Let's
Yeah.
go the woolly route. He's just unraveling them.
Yeah.
I get the art craft. The art craft for him makes perfect sense. It's that twee smiley thing, and even A Toad got a personality. He was able to become an explorer. Having Peach lean into a series of games that highlights her as, I don't know, as not just as a performer, but as a problem solver. That'd be nice. I just want a series of Peach games. I want there to be like a notable. If someone says, "Oh, it's a Peach game," I know the genre. I want to know what they're talking about. Is it that it's twee and cute, or is it that it highlights a specific gameplay style? Like if I said, "Oh, it's a Luigi game or a Luigi's Mansion game," you know what gameplay I'm asking. It's almost like if I said a Metroidvania,
Yeah, I
you
see.
know the kind of the style of game, what to expect.
Interesting.
So I'd like this to be the beginning or the genesis of the game. I'd like to
Gameplay.
see the results on when it releases, what aspects people enjoy. Maybe this could be a thing. Maybe we could have like Princess Peach going through literature. How about a version of this where she goes to classics? She's painting fences because of Huck Finn. She's hunting a whale with
Yeah,
with Ahab.
we will happen, definitely.
You know what? I could really go for that because
True.
you could lean it as educational. It won't be obviously, but it's still. I think this could be a really cute genre for her.
Yeah,
Like theater or literature
yeah,
scenarios.
definitely, man, definitely. I'm sure it will happen. I mean, I'm just looking forward to the Sonic movie coming and then the next Mario movie. I mean, hopefully.
Oh,
I'm
have you heard
also
about?
dreading.
You're moving to you know about this more than I do. Have you heard about this spin-off TV series with Knuckles?
No, actually, I haven't. Wait, what
Yeah,
TV?
because I was looking into the new Sonic movie that's going to be Shadow. It's based
Yeah.
upon Sonic Adventure 2, which cool. It was
Mm.
a seminal moment in Sonic and gaming history because it was
Oh, not again, the internet. Yeah.
in-
I know
on
what's going on.
Nintendo. Nintendo players, it was their first time playing, and it was also the start of a new generation. So a lot of kids, younger gamers, that was one of their first games. So I think it's one of the reasons why Shadow is so beloved. It's not
Yeah.
just out edge.
Mm.
It's he's a beloved character because that's when a lot of people got on board with Sonic. But I have heard that there's going to be a spin-off TV series of
Wow.
Knuckles, like a Knuckles from the film, but with his own TV show.
I'm looking forward to it. I wonder if Idris Elba will be doing the voices. No, I
I,
doubt it. He's probably
I,
got no time. So no,
yeah, it won't be Idris Elba, but it will be someone doing that version, and
of Knuckles. Yeah, I mean, we know one thing I thought about
you
the.
know,
Yeah, go on.
I'd like that. I loved him
Yeah,
in the Sonic X show. He was so
yeah.
endearing
I
in
watched the hell out
that,
of Sonic
so
X.
like not naive, but just
Yeah.
oblivious.
I, I love the hell out of Sonic X, and again, my family and
That was
I
good.
don't know, yeah, family, mother, nephews, nieces. We just loved watch the hell out of that show, and what I love about the Sonic movie is that it tied all of these things together. Sonic, of course, is notorious in the gaming world for having gone through some games that were not so well received. Let's just put it that way. Versus and so on.
Yeah, fucking bleeding Team Sonic. It's like they chased the worst aspects of popular games. They had a God of War with a werehog. What the hell was that about? They,
Well, they
they've
tried.
come up with a few good ideas during this dark age of Sonic. There were some good games, but every time they found a good game or had some success, what did they do? They threw out the baby out with the bathwater,
I,
started again, and then the next one, throw it all away and start again, and there was no consistency. Mario just stayed the course, just slowly improved the quality of the same game. But
yeah.
Sonic kept trying new things.
I kind of, on one hand, I kind of complaining that they lost their way, in my opinion, since they lost their platform. You know, if they at least had the console, then it would be like, no, they're kind of trying to make a home for themselves on other people's platforms, and it's like, oh no, man, we want to. If only we had control over how the controller played. So we had to just go back to basics. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe I'm just.
Yeah, I think that it was a heavy blow for Sega to stop producing consoles because it removed a certain legitimacy. Having your own platform was a pedigree. You know,
Mm,
you were the platform holder. People bought your platforms. People came to you for the game.
mm,
But I think Sonic could have pivoted and Sega as a company could have pivoted more successfully to their new role of publishing. They've had some great games. I mean, the Yakuza series has gone from strength to strength. But
yeah.
again, it's built the next game off of the previous one. What worked in earlier games they kept, and what didn't they changed. But they kept the core ethos of the game. The game is just a better version of the previous one. Sonic felt schizophrenic. Like they didn't know what direction to take
Mm.
him in. Do they want to
But
play
yeah,
up the classic styles? Do they want to go with new styles? They introduced all manner of new gaming elements.
I
The
think.
one I really liked was when Sonic. I think it's called Sonic Worlds. Sonic, not Colors. Because Colors brought in those little alien things that gave him powers. That was basically just like power ups. But there was one where Sonic was running along on three-dimensional tubes, like
Is that dimensions? No, no.
pipes, not dimensions. Sonic games. I'm just going a quick check now. Not Sonic Frontier. Sonic Team Racing. Sonic Runners.
Hmm.
No, Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom was
Ah,
Lost World.
that's what
Sonic Lost
ES.
World.
Wait. Is that
So
the on the Wii?
they
No, that's the rings. Yeah,
that
that was the rings one.
the Rings is on the way.
Mm.
Yeah,
Which
so
is
Sonic
kind of
Lost
weird.
World had Sonic running along like concave. The world, the environment itself was a three-dimensional,
Oh yeah, yeah.
3D thing, and it could go up and down. But he was always running ahead. But you could just go round and around. It was
Oh,
like
roll
the
kind of thing.
inverted version of a tube, a
It feels
tunnel.
like a
You know, when they go
96
to the
video.
tunnel and they go around the edge, it was basically on the outside.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I thought that was a clever idea because if you expanded on that and really refined that gameplay, you could keep the speed, you could have the forward running of adventure, you kept the speed of the classics, but it was in a self-contained environment. It wasn't like you were running through a whole world. You were just running on one track. And it just
Mm.
meant that you had to know where the obstacles were so you knew when to go left and right.
Mm.
And
Yeah, that
that
works.
could be really good. I thought that was a really clever idea, but
Yeah,
you know,
again,
you did it once and then they threw it away.
that's I think that's the problem. Yeah, Sonic Team is like when I spoke to somebody from Sonic Team, and he's speaking about that experience. Like that's what it felt like in the office. How they kept switching. So well, of course, naturally everybody knows. But that being said, I think it's because like you're saying about the pedigree that they had when they were with their own platform. The whole point of Sonic in the first place was supposed to be an anti-Mario, apparently. So yeah, so because of that, if that was the case, then
It was a
it's
physics engine.
yeah, right, and that's
Mario, yeah, the Mario engine, the Mario gaming engine was very, very much similar to Rockman, Mega Man. It was limited, you know. He
mm,
could run a little faster, he could run normal speed, but it was very organized. It was very regimented. You
mm,
could control Mario to a strong degree, whereas Sonic had weight, had momentum. You could go faster. You
yeah,
could
accelerate to
refine
it.
it.
Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, the game, the way you played Sonic was different. At its core, was an entirely different experience to a Mario game. A Mario game was slow and methodical. You worked your
mm,
way slowly, and it was almost like the world was a puzzle. No, Sonic games were about running along a track and just
yeah,
finding the best path down that track. It was about replaying the levels over and over and over again to get faster times, to memorizing the track so that you could find the right
and
lines,
not run into a
like you
bunch
were
of spikes.
racing.
Mm,
Yeah, to avoid things. Where do you jump? Where do you slow down? Where do you speed up? And then it's almost like you were memorizing a Forza track. You
Yeah.
knew where the chicanes were, where the
Yeah.
tricks were. You knew the right lines to follow along these worlds so that you could just blister through them faster and faster and faster, because it was all about that momentum, keeping the momentum. Mario has no momentum.
Yeah.
When he jumps a limited amount. When he runs at a set speed. He is static. Sonic wasn't. Sonic, you could get flow with Sonic, and so it had a wholly different feel. It required a more advanced engine for that kind of gameplay, but that feeling of speed, not just through the characterization, but through the actual physics of the gameplay, was what made Sonic so popular. People loved him because as you played more and more, you got better at playing him. Whereas as you played Mario more and more, you learned more of the secrets. You knew where to
They're
go,
completely different
where
game.
the
Yeah.
items were.
Completely different.
You got better skilled at using Mario, whereas in Sonic, you got better at driving him.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why Crash Bandicoot is called Sonic's Arse, apparently, according to DJ
Yeah.
when they made it, because essentially going along that track. Of course, when you put up a camera behind Sonic, that's exactly what you get. Remember those levels, those bonus levels, which is essentially what that game Sonic that you talked about. That you described
Yeah.
is. Yeah, that's it, man. So,
Love that tune.
yeah. So when it comes to Sonic 3, the movie, in conclusion, sorry, because I went off on a big tangent, but I just. You know, I really love Jim Carrey in the first two, man. I wish I could bring him back. I know he said he's retired, but for God's sake, he really brought that Robotnik to life. And without him, that movie would not be what everyone else, but what it is. And so, what the hell
He
Sonic 3
made
gonna
that
be?
movie.
Yeah. So what? I just want what are you gonna do, Sonic 3, man? You know that movie. I mean, Sonic is Knuckles, not Shadow's nice and all, but without Jim, Slim Jim, I don't know. But, I don't know. Just what?
Yeah.
Oh well,
I
fingers
respect
crossed.
the man for stepping down from from acting. He wasn't at a point where he wanted to do that. He wanted to do something else.
Fair enough.
Kudos to you, buddy.
Yeah.
It's your life. You're the one living it. You've given us many, many years of great comedy.
Great comedies.
You've done your duty. If you want to retire, I'm sad, but I respect the man for making the decision. But
Yeah.
occasionally, him popping back in and doing more.
That would be.
Thank you. Hell, it's
Yeah.
like Bill Murray coming back to
Ghostbusters.
do the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
You know, having a Ghostbusters without Bill Murray, yeah, you can. But do you want one?
No.
No, we want him. Even as a cameo. They brought back the classic Ghostbusters in the last film as basically a cameo at the end.
Yeah.
And it helped make the emotional gut punch at the end of that movie. It really made it. And now they're back for the next one that's coming out in a month.
All right, dude.
Very
come on.
excited.
We should talk about that on the channel. But
let's tie a bow on this and let's go right back.
yeah.
I think that, and I mentioned this before, I think that because Mario has Mario is not a character somewhere anymore. He's more of a brand. You slap the Mario logo on anything and it's a Mario thing. Kind of like Sanrio. The Sanrio Hello Kitty characters aren't characters per se. They have no personality beyond cute. And Mario is just, hey, fun. But his ancillary characters, his B characters, they have character. They have personality traits. Luigi is a cowardly character. He's a nervous character. He struggles with getting out of his brother's shadow. He's nervous about things, and his games lean into this. The characterization of Luigi in the Mansion games, pitch perfect. Yoshi being less of a dinosaur and more of a creative engine, yeah, that makes sense. But I want to see Peach's characterization. I want to see the Peach games lean into who she is. Yeah, we can make the games a vehicle for playing with theatre tropes and literature tropes. That could be fun. But I want Peach to have a character. I want her games to lean into that character. And I want them to slowly refine it, to slowly give us more games that build upon other ones, not use her like they used Sonic during the Dark Ages or Mario generally by just slapping the logo, the Peach logo on it. Like, oh, a Peach cooking mama or Peach bubble bubble. No. Pick a lane and make like this the Peach style games. Go the Luigi route, not the Mario route.
Right. Yeah, this is a dipping a toe in the water in terms of making a mark, identifying what a thing is, and
Yeah,
therefore,
what's her thing?
yeah, if we see what we can do with it going forward. I guess this video has like 1 minute left. Shall we let it play out before we jump to the next topic?
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
let's
Okay.
watch
I do
the
hope
end
that
of it.
later on in the game things, sort of get a little bit more involved, and I imagine they will, because I'm fairly certain what I played is like the first 4 levels and the lobby, in which I could do absolutely nothing, but I do think it was a lockdown version of the game. Like, it sort of felt like something should happen. I should be able to interact with some things, but it's a preview. It's not the final build of the game, I'm certain. I hope so, because if so, that's a soft lock. I can see plenty of parents with young children having a really lovely time
This is what I'm thinking.
with their kids. It's not something that I would have had that much experience before, but as I've got older, I've got more and more friends who have children, and I can really see after interacting with them that this is the kind of game that would go down really well.
Really
There's
well.
just enough in
Completely.
there
I
to
wish my
be
nephew and niece were
involved
here,
enough
man.
to entertain an adult. It's not a baby's game that you do
That's
have
it.
to use your hands. But it's also never going to leave the child out of the
Back to the
equation. If
Future.
the child wants to play it, they're probably going to be able to enjoy it tremendously and get the most out of the game, as long as they're not too young. Zygotes probably are going to have a challenge. All in all, I'm more excited about Princess Peach Showtime than I thought I would be. I still don't think it's necessarily going to set the world on fire or anything like that. But, I walked away more positive than I thought I would, and I can't see how that's a bad thing. I would like to see a slight performance improvement because it's not ideal at the moment. It's not terrible, but there are a few instances, particularly during the transformation scenes, where the frames just drop to the mid-low 20s, which ain't great,
All the
particularly considering it's a fixed camera game. But all in all, I'm quite keen to see some more, and no doubt we will be giving you a full review closer to release. Not now, this isn't a review. A lot of people leave comments saying, nice review. This isn't a review, I played an hour. If I reviewed a game after playing an hour, it better be a flippin' short game. But what do you think? Are you excited for Princess Peach Showtime, or do you think it's a waste of bloody time? Let us know with a comment down below.
That's funny.
Thank you so much.
I think it's going to be great, but it's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
I think it's not going to be for everyone.
Yeah.
But I think what it is going to be really high quality.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, dude. Dear, something came to mind. Oh, by the way, before I forget, yeah, dropping that there. So, by the way, people, I said, forget it. Let me change topic. Okay, so now, when it comes to this, did you catch that little reference he made to Back to the Future too?
No.
He said, it's not a baby's toy, but although you do have to use your hands. You remember that from Back to the Future? You have to use your hands to use a baby's toy. Yeah.
No. I thought because he made mention of it. Zygotes, which is like an embryo, have no hands.
Ah, right. Okay. Well, there you go. I never thought that. I thought of Back to the Future, but
I thought it was that. I thought it was that. But yeah, it's nice. Maybe he's just a Freudian slip. He just stuck it in there.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, it's because I'm reacting to so many of these rap songs and pop songs, and people have these. You catch these little lines. So, with that being said, here we are at the end of that preview, and it's not a review. And
yeah, just a little preview. He just highlighting the fact that he saw it, and this is what his feelings were. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a fun game. I just hope that it's the beginning of more.
Me too.
I would like to see more characters from the Mario canon given their own space. I mean, Donkey Kong had the Donkey Kong Country World, has its own series of games, and they've been great. The Donkey Kong Country series, especially the later ones, Donkey Kong Country Returns and Freeze for Tropical Freeze.
Oh, that.
Oh my God, that is an amazing game. So fun. And yeah, Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong in that. I'd like to see Bowser and maybe Bowser Jr. be given a fun game of his own. Just expand out, because we've had these characters for so long now that it's their turn to have their own game, and if they're good or they're bad, you can try out other genres, other styles of game with other characters, and if they're successful, boom, baby, expand that out with more characters.
For
I mean,
sure.
imagine if we've got the environment exploration with Luigi.
Mm.
We've got crafty and platforming with environmental destruction with Yoshi.
Oh yeah,
We've
yeah.
got in-depth exploration, environmental exploration, like three-dimensional with Toad, Captain Toad. With this, we've got kind of theatre and transformations, self-contained stories. What
Mm.
about if we had a Bowser Jr. style arena shooter?
That
What
that
if
ma-
he sets up
yeah.
like a little battle arena type thing, and we get the Cooper enemies battling themselves out for supremacy in Cooper Jr.'s new army. He's trying to build an elite strike force, so we get like an arena shooter,
Mm.
or just like a real simplified one. I'm thinking that foam game that's basically Splatoon,
Mm.
but a Mario style Splatoon game using Bowser Jr. That would
Oh,
be fun.
that's brilliant, dude. All I can say in closing, I'll say is I'm looking for more depth in all the characters in the next Mario movie. That is, I think, will be the springboard from to which we can expand on these. Each of these characters gives them all depth. They all have their backstory, and what makes Nintendo a powerhouse in that regard. Every character not only has their own story, but their own game. I think that
Mm.
would be real deep. I mean, who else can compare with that, compete with that? Speaking of which, Microsoft. I was thinking that was our next topic, and yeah, is what I think you were mentioning before we started. Everybody, that Microsoft may be in danger of becoming a Sega, in which case they certainly wouldn't be able to compete with Nintendo's IPs. Therefore, uh, boy, man, Sega. I, it comes down to business choices coupled with love from your audience and things like these plays and whatnot. Like the Showtime is kind of bringing our attention to the the image of something is key to captivating an audience. Excuse me. Well, the trick with
You all right there, buddy?
that's a bit of a throat thing. I think I just need some honey and lemon to clear it off. It's really annoying, and it's been
Nice.
there for a while. Dear me. Thanks for your concern. Yeah, but yeah, um, the IPs, the trick with Microsoft and the West in particular, that they keep trying to buy things and join our team, and it ends up being a bit of a fool of the world in the flying ship. Just to,
It's the old Vanguard, the old way of doing things. That the
Mm,
IPs were treated as precious jewels, that they were immutable. But gaming has changed. The landscape has become far more interconnected. We get PC games on consoles. We've got console games on PCs. And we've got games on every platform.
mm,
We have multiplats. So people are less likely or less interested in the console warring aspect. There was a reason for it in the heyday. Back in my day, if depending on which console you bought, you had an entirely different game. The games
mhm,
were different. They did not release the same one. Even companies that released games on both platforms, they were wildly different. My favorite example are the Disney's.
mm,
Disney's Aladdin on the N64, sorry, the SNES and the Genesis were wildly different beasts. Very different. I personally preferred the SNES version, but I was an SNES guy and I completed that game, So
mhm,
I actually grinded my way through and beat that damn game. It was
mhm,
good. But whether you were one or the other meant entirely different landscape. You did not play the same games. You couldn't. Now you can. Now you can play games on all the platforms. So the idea of being a console purist is more of a fandom, kind of a support the company style thing.
mm,
And while Xbox has announced they're going to release some of their exclusives, the last vanguard of the console wars, on other platforms, but they're not the first to do this. PlayStation has been releasing their games on PC for a while now. After a year or so, true, but it's still, they're releasing their exclusives to other platforms.
Mm,
So it's not it has been wildly successful for Sony. They've made a lot of money
really.
selling the God of Wars. God of War, the first one, Ragnarok, not yet, but both Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, which are on PC now,
Mm,
or at least Forbidden West will soon be on PC, and
mm.
those are very successful exclusive games. But they've been wildly profitable for Sony selling them on another platform. So while I'm nervous for my Xbox fans, my Xbox friends, that maybe they're going to go. Xbox is going to go the way of way of Sega, removing their physical properties. I don't think so. I think it's more of a natural evolution of the medium. I think that we're going to get more and more games that just on everything. That are just a lack of exclusivity. That it's just not profitable anymore because the cost of games is so high. They need to hit as many people as possible. So, I do think that eventually we may end up in a scenario where whatever console you buy, you can play everything. You just have to buy it from a different company.
Right. Given that, that's a, oh, I was wondering. I really I want to do the upcoming vid, but I just got a bit of a call from somebody that at 11 I'm gonna have to. Well, that's 7 minutes to jump. I was wondering.
Yeah, it's in a few minutes. Let's put a pin in this and we'll come
Yeah.
back to it.
Okay, we'll come back to
But
it
yeah,
definitely. I'd love to
Joe,
hear
I
about it.
want to talk more about this, but I do want to do a little bit more research because I'm hearing a lot of people go, "Oh my God, Xbox on PlayStation," but I think more rational viewers are seeing a shift. A strange smell in the wind. Like,
Mm,
we're seeing a shift away from exclusivities. That it's no longer profitable to
right.
hoard your wealth, hoard these games the way Disney does. It's about time that they start putting them on other consoles, if only to keep people buying them.
That's it. I mean, that being said, Disney, Nintendo. What do you think? Is a different animal. I think that's what keeps it different. I mean,
Nintendo's a different beast. Nintendo
mm,
has always be, drummed to the sound of their own beat. They've
mm,
always done their own thing, for good or ill. I don't think they're going to release any of their exclusive games on any other platform but their own. But I do think that they will start opening up to allow more games on their platforms and more of their games on others. The exclusives, you'll never get a Mario game on another console. You have to go to Nintendo for that.
yeah.
But Fire Emblem,
I'm sure Nintendo's thinking about the same.
anytime soon, no. But
Mm.
I do think that Nintendo may be slow to pick up on what's going on. It took them long enough to create Splatoon and realize, oh, shooters are where the gaming industry went. But if Sony and Microsoft begin sharing exclusives, if they
To
both
team
begin
up
doing
against
this,
Nintendo.
Nintendo will have to follow suit. They will have to start putting their games on other people's consoles. And it will just become a matter of, oh, buy the console that you're more preference with, and then you could play almost anything.
I mean, Nintendo was very resolute against what's the boy's name? Satoru
Satoru Hirohara.
Yeah, no, I mean he was. I think he was very at first resolute against putting Mario Run or let alone Pokemon. No, he's not involved in that. But the idea of having Nintendo on iPhones, eventually they did it, and of course, big
Well,
success.
he believed in the marketing strategy that's called Blue Sky. The idea is that you don't try to get as many people as possible, but you do try to really, really keep your initial audience. It's
Hmm.
sell to your audience and make it the best place for them. But he's moved on. We have a new guard. We have Doug Bowser in charge of Nintendo of America, taking over for
Literally,
Reggie Fils-Aimé, and we've got new heads at Nintendo in Japan as well. So they have already begun to pivot away from this self-contained, private secret garden style marketing and open up to online gaming. We've gotten more mobile games, and we're getting more mainstream style business strategies, more DLCs,
hmm.
more subscription models. If they're willing to take on the worser, the more money grubbing practices of their contemporaries, it's not unreasonable to think they might pivot away from older strategies to more modern.
I'm probably thinking. I hope not. In some ways, I definitely see know that there's rarely one. It's just that there's sometimes again that's the liberal versus
It's
conservative
just
approach.
it's whether it's more profitable ultimately.
Yeah.
If Sony, if Microsoft releases some of their exclusives on Sony and PC, and those games sell, it will be the first domino, and it will show that it's profitable to put your exclusives on other people's consoles, and that would just mean that a few more from Sony, a few more from Microsoft, and then if those are profitable as well, if there's consistency in this, it's only a matter of time. I say once
Okay.
the first domino falls.
Okay, Fire Emblem. But of course, Mario, Pokemon, please no. This is, although
Pokemon, I don't know,
Pokemon
but
maybe.
Mario, no, Mario
Mario,
will
yeah.
never. It's like Disney will hold on to Mickey Mouse forever.
Mm,
You know, no matter how, no matter if he's in the public domain or not,
Yeah.
they will never let go of him.
yeah.
They can't. He is their mascot.
Yes. Yes.
Sony and doesn't have a mascot though. Sony had a few, but there's no one we can say is the mascot. Xbox has, Master Chief, and if Master Chief ever enters another person's platform, that would be it. That would be the end of exclusives.
It's like Sega falling and Sonic having to be anywhere.
Once Sonic appeared on a Nintendo console, once the Sonic Advance series was wholly Nintendo product.
I was like, no, that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
it's not unheard of. This isn't unheard of.
But it does signify defeat in some regard because Sonic. I mean, Sega had to fall first.
Yeah, I think the only time people say it was a defeat is because Sega stopped producing platforms. They only sold games, and they had to sell games for whoever were making the platforms. If Microsoft keeps making platforms, but they just make their games available, and by doing so, they create the environment that forces their opponents to also release their exclusives. That means that they started the ball rolling, but they reaped long-term rewards. They could get PlayStation or Nintendo games on the Xbox. It's just, are they playing the long con?
Yeah, well, okay, we'll see. Sorry, it's 11. I got it wrong. People, that was a lovely chat. We're going to continue next week. And Gamer Dan, thanks again for your time. Oh, like I said, please check out our associate. I'm going to see if I can bleep out the name I mentioned earlier. All right, catch you next time, Gamer Dan. Peace.
Talk soon.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.